welcome. And before we dive into today's episode, I just wanted to remind you that you can always support our show by going to our profile on Twitter, which is the Omakase Show, and then you can find this cash button and send your donations in Ethereum. And today we have an amazing guest, Uwe, who is an incredible artist but also a photographer. Thank you so much for joining me today. And can you just straight ahead tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you got into this space?
Hey, hi everyone. Thank you for having me. And yeah, sure. So I'm I'm basically an artist. I would call myself a mixed media artist. With I'm doing like a lot of different mediums, and this is this is hard to define what I do right now. But it's basically mixed media with me exploring whatever mediums I can.
And so basically, it is highly inspired by aesthetics of 50s and 60s and this eras. And can you explain why you took it as an inspiration, like this particular time frame?
I think it comes from movies because I've been a big movie like cinema fan for ever since I was young. So I think it has a lot to do with this. So I was very influenced by movies and from different eras, and especially like I would say David Lynch, Mulholland Drive, that kind of uh, anachronic kind of films. So this is coming from movies. This is why my work is very cinematic. There's a lot of like neons and a lot of like night scenes as well. There's a lot of portraits. So this is a blend, I would say, of like the movies I've seen over my life, and yeah, it ranges from the 50s, 60s to very some very sci-fi works like Blade Runner and that kind of movies.
Yeah, indeed. And also about the cover, I think even like if I go to your profile on Instagram, it's really like ready, like super, you use a lot of reds. So can you explain why this cover and in general more about the palette? I know you like neon too.
Yeah, well, sure. So basically, well, I've always liked red. So at first it's really just kind of like a personal preference, just a visual preference that I like. I've always been drawn to red. It's a color I really like. But if I have to dive deeper and explain why I use it in almost every works that I've done, I would say it. I think it's called. It has a lot to do, with passion. There's a lot of passion in the color red, and it draws attention as well. And then it's just so easy to use in everything. And I think it's just um, a good element that brings my whole body of work together. Because as you've seen, there's a lot of different mediums. There's some photography, there's some AI, there's some animations as well, and all of this is tied together by the color red, I would say. So it's really easy for me to just put the red I really like in an artwork, and then just it fills immediately mine. So yeah, that would be the reason why I use red most of the time.
To be honest, I think it's really hard to use red. I think it's only easy for you. And even I think about myself when I get ready and I'm trying to wear something red. It really depends. And I took a course on public speaking, and our professor he told us that if we want to kind of give out some alpha energy to feel like super confident, we can go for something red. And when I'm a bit of like I don't know anxious about something, I would normally either do a red lipstick or wear just red clothing, so it just calms me down.
Yeah, totally.
um,
Yeah, it's a very bold color.
Indeed, indeed, it is. But I like it a lot. That's a really weird story, but I will share. When I was a kid, I had this like, a lot of pencils and watercolors and all of this stuff. And I loved red so much that red pencils were always broke down. I was just like tearing them apart because I was overusing them and they were always like broken completely. I just wanted to ask about your creative process. So, I know you have artworks that are also a photography. And can you just guide us through how you create an artwork? Because you use a lot of stuff, basically AI, animation. Just explain to me how it works overall.
Sure. So I think it's a lot easier to explain if I just sum up a little bit of how my art career went. So basically, I think I just started to get into art 15 years ago, and at the time I was just doing well self teaching myself into graphic design and motion graphics. So motion graphics being animation. So this is how I started to get into art, and then I started creating things with these two mediums. And then after this, I landed a few jobs in corporate, and then started doing like like client works and that kind of stuff. So that was a little bit boring. So I had to find a different way to express myself, and by not being in front of a computer and using the same tools I was using every day for work. So I thought I would pick up photography, like especially film photography, because and this is what I've been doing for the next 5 years after this, mostly photography, and especially like street night photography and some studio photography as well. And this new medium kind of started my art career. This was like getting me a little bit of a following on Instagram, and then this was really good. Like I was really happy with how it was going, and it was around 3 years ago that I started to. I kind of felt stuck a little bit with photography. I wanted to explore like different things, and I wanted to have like more freedom over what I do, and I not have to build the whole set and rely on doing a lot of things that were annoying me in the process of photography. So I thought that would be cool to just train an AI with all the photos I've shot, and then have like some exploring with other AIs as well, and then implementing also animation, which I've been doing for the past 10 years before this. And so now my artwork is like a whole bunch of different mediums. I would say like this: photography, videography, AI, and animation. Most of it. Sometimes there's a little bit of 3D as well, but in the end, it's the way I create is very intuitive, and I usually just start. I usually just start with like a blank canvas, and I would just go around and then see what works or not, and then at the end, I feel like when an artwork is done, I feel like I've poured my soul into it, but like in a very uh, subconscious way, as I didn't have to, like, um, how would I call it? I didn't have to like understand every thought I put into the process. It was just like very intuitive and very just doing it in a very meditative state.
I see. And so, as you've been talking, are all of this actually a photography and then you use AI? So, like all those people that are, it is a photo, right? Initially.
Yes, these are photos. The one that you're on right now, these are all photos.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And yeah,
And
the
then
work that is
this
a
one
little
is
bit.
also,
This one is also a photo, like yeah, full on photography.
and then you add some elements using AI.
This is still photography, 100% photography. If you scroll up a little bit, you start seeing the AI thingy. I think you're in. You should change the
Yeah, in
yeah,
another tab.
words, and
Maybe
then
animated
yes,
stuff.
animated. Animated is the one usually that have AI in them. It takes a little bit more time
Um, w- yeah, my Wi-Fi is struggling today. But also, it's so interesting. Can you also tell me a little bit why you prefer kind of figurative works that you always have a person on them?
Yeah, sure. Uh, I think it's, like cigarettes have been like a big part of my life. I think so. My parents were both smokers. They were heavy smokers at the time, and then I started smoking. I don't know, I was in that was in middle school. I think I was probably like 13 or something. And I don't know, it's just there's something about like people smoking, especially like in movies, that makes it like so cinematic and so cool. And I know it's not good for your health, but I still like really like doing like smoking cigarette and like see people smoking. It's just, you take this moment and then you have a cigarette, and then it's just your moment, and then you enjoy it, and then it makes it kind of like out of time a little bit. So yeah, probably why.
I can relate. I'm also a smoker. My parents both are smokers. There is a really interesting story about it. So basically, when Marlboro were dominating American market, they decided to make an idea that all the women that are smoking, they have this like lower and cooler and more sexier voice because they smoke a lot. And basically, Marlboro, they were even like paying some movie advertisement to have main characters like smoking.
Yeah,
So it just creates an image of this really like sexy, chill woman. And but I still feel like I have this inside of my head, even though I know this kind of information. I still find people who smoke a bit attractive, which is weird. But yeah, I can totally relate.
I know.
And
I think it's been put in our head since before we were born. So it's kind of like, you know, imprint in our head that people who smoke are cool. And I think, yeah, some people don't think so because it's going the other way now, which I think is good because in the end it's still bad for your health. But I can't help it.
indeed, indeed, I can relate so much. I've been trying to quit like so many times. This is a stupid thing, but I every month I make a goal for a month, like what I'm going to achieve this month. And it's been 6 months that I state that I will quit smoking, but I haven't. So, like 6 months in a row, I'm writing a goal where I'm quitting to smoke, but I just cannot. I don't know why. Well, anyway, I wanted to ask you, how was your experience working on commission pieces? Because I checked your website and you have quite a few. And in general, how do you navigate kind of their branding, the branding of a company that requested a commission within your style and your vision?
Yeah. So basically, I don't do many commission work. Um, It's it's usually you have to, like I have to kind of be I have to like the brand, and then the brand has to come to me for my style. So basically, I really like doing commissions if I can be fully free of doing what I want in this commission. And
I'm just trying to find your commission for Amouage because I think it's a really big match.
yeah,
Maybe you have it somewhere.
let me check. Yeah, for example, I've done a ledger commissions for the ledger brand, and I know I've done like a few brands. I do reels for Adobe.
Hmm.
I use their tools, and then they're really cool. And then I it's a brand that helped me build my art career for the past 15 years. So I'm always happy to work with them, and then they always like have like this, so you got like a green card, like you can do whatever you want, we'll be happy with it, and then that's it. This is the type of mentality I'm looking for when I'm collaborating with a brand.
Oh wow. And by the way, what was the commission for Belvedere Museum?
Sorry, what?
What was the commission for the Belvedere Museum?
Oh, it's how it's called? It's a vodka brand. It's a French vodka brand.
Oh, really? I
Yeah.
thought it would be the museum. There is this.
Uh,
Oh, wow.
it would have
Okay.
been cool though. But no, it was a vodka brand that was like probably almost not 10 years ago, but like eight years ago something. This was like shooting the bottles and then have like my unique style of like doing double exposures and neons with it. So and that was a cool one because they let me do whatever I wanted with it. So it was great.
Oh, wow. Okay, okay. And so I wanted to ask you, what would be your tips for artists, like emerging artists, maybe artists that are trying to experiment more within their practice?
Yeah. So and it's always like really kind of bland and very like stereotypical, but basically the more you try, the more you actually do art, the better you're gonna get at it. So you just don't overthink it and just put the work. Just create like every day as much as you can, and then in the end it's you have to be you'll end up being good. That's 100%.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it works for everything nearly that
Yeah.
you're trying to do. Well, the final question would be, what are you working on right now, and what are some things we can expect to see from you soon?
Yeah, so I'm working on a one of one X collection at the moment. So, like it's a collection series that has like I don't know right now, but it's gonna be between 50 and 80 pieces. And this is I can't say too much about it right now, but it's basically gonna be photography glitched out, like glitch photography, but without post production. So basically, I found like an old digital camera
Oh,
that
wow.
is that has some problems in it, that is circuit bent, and it actually shoot photos with glitches in it. And I'm working on a whole series with this, and hopefully it'll come out like I don't know by the end of the year something.
Oh, wow. Can you send me a preview? I just like got super curious about how this camera works. You can just DM it to me if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
I
Yeah.
can do that. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's so exciting. That sounds incredible. Well, thank you so much for your time, and we are staying in touch, definitely.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. And yeah, thanks, Omakase.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.